So today I officially got accepted into Intellect Tech Accelerator program. For those who don't know or aren't aware of what that is, essentially Intellect allows employees to work on their own ideas, their own apps, projects, software, whatever it is. And at the end of the year, there's a competition where you'll be judged on your software that you've delivered, the end result, what you promised, and there's a cash prize. What's cool is Intellect allows you to work on the project paid for 1 day each month. There's also a monthly budget you can acquire if you need hardware or any other costs. So I got accepted into this and I'm really excited. My idea is called Lovana. Essentially, it's a app to help couples with their date nights. So part of the process will be obviously building this application. It's going to be a mobile app, and essentially what it's going to do is take in a couple's individual likes, dislikes, areas they are comfortable going to, how open they are to trying new things, and what I call intimacy levels. Maybe there's a better word for it, but this is what I've chosen right now. Essentially, how quiet or private or intimate a date could be. For example, sitting in the movies together is very different to, say, going to a bar or a club. Different social situation. So yeah, I wanted to vlog and record and document this process. So today is the first, I guess, episode or part of that process, and I am just working through the feature list right now. So I wanted to do this on pen and paper. I feel like I don't know, process things better or can brainstorm better on paper. So I want to do this kind of going through journeys, so user journeys. So let's just try and come up with those first. So what I think would count as journeys, or what a journey is, how I view what a journey is, essentially is a process that a user, someone using the app, would follow. A basic example of this could be, let's say if they're already set up an account, let's say they log in, they choose a specific date, like on the calendar date, and then generate a date idea for them and their partner. So that would be simplified version of a journey. So let's just try and think of what those journeys would be, and then we can break them down, and from there I think might be an efficient way to break it down into features. I don't know, it just kind of helps me process it. So I would say one of the first things I'm gonna have to do is probably to sign up. My handwriting is terrible. I don't know why I've chosen to record myself writing and expose my handwriting to the public, but probably only 12 people are going to watch this, so that's okay. So I would say signing up, that would be a journey. We can break these down a bit later. Let's just get the names for now, or the journeys themselves. Sign up. I feel like signing up would include process of building a profile, like selecting likes and dislikes, but that might be a bit of a big portion. So let's keep sign up to itself, and then let's do profile building. Just call it profile building as its own journey. So this would be like maybe the likes, dislikes, etc. So like choosing a cuisine. I'm imagining like when you sign up or join a, let's say, like a music platform, Spotify, Apple Music, I'm sure is the same, Google Play Music, and basically select artists you like, genres you like. I don't know if it delves into albums, but basically choose that and it can generate a playlist and a library that suits you. So that's the idea that I'm going with this, to be able to personalize things. So sign up, profile building. I would say creating or linking a couple together. So if I sign up on the app, get my profile set up. My girlfriend signs up, gets her profile set up. Then we'd want a way to join us together and link our profiles. I think that'll be useful for the system, so you can take into consideration both sets of likes, dislikes. Let's just call that a profile. Take into consideration both profiles. To sign up, profile building, linking a couple together. I'm just following this as I guess you would want the app to sort of direct you. You would sign up, build your profile, ideally link a couple. I guess for now I'm envisioning it that without a couple set up, the app wouldn't really function, although there could be some room for expansion to have I guess solo outings and also as a friend, or I guess friend meetups, not meetings, it's a bit formal. But yeah, for now let's just stick to couple idea, linking a couple together. I guess then the next step would be generating a date, wouldn't it? It's a bit of a larger journey, but okay. Let's just say date generation. Part of what I want to do is, obviously now it's going to give you a date idea. Let's say we split dates up, or we section dates as a meal and an outing or activity. Like let's say supper and a movie. Maybe you could build it so it is customizable in like, okay, I want to go for a meal, 2 activities, and then like a chill thing. That's something we can think of in the future. But what I want is most likely not going to be happy with the first date that's generated. So I want a process of essentially agreeing or disagreeing as a couple. So, well, individually disagreeing and agreeing. So each partner in the couple, can decide whether they want, I don't know, this outing, this activity, that sort of thing. So let's just call it date building or filtering. Building for now, and put a note of like accepting lining and changing. Okay, so after you've built the date and selected everything you want to, both partners agree with the date. I think that should be a good feature. We could probably simplify this date building to just be like if both, just do all parties in case we do friends in the future. All parties accept. That's supposed to be a C. So if all parties of the date accept the date, then the date's accepted. If not, then it would generate a new one. That might be simpler for the user and for me to than saying, okay, no, I don't like this activity, no, I don't like this eating, or for example. I'm looking to, well, I want to document and film sort of all of this. It would be really cool, and I've wanted to create videos for a while. After this, most likely in the same video, I want to do some logo work as well. I have an idea, and I've done a couple mock-ups, well, not mock-ups, but a couple concepts. So I'm gonna stick to that and see how it goes. After date building would be accepting the date, and I think that would be part of the building, as we have here, accepting. It would go on the date, and I guess post date we would have the reviewing process, reviews and rating, I guess. So this we could use a star system or heart system, so that would be rating maybe out of 5. I have a review system where they can leave or like typed out reviews of each part of the date, maybe, if not as a whole. And then this would be, ideally what I want is separate from, I guess, this sort of 3 here. This would fall under personalized dates. This is sort of I guess just admin business for setting up a profile. So this would be under personalized dates, these 3. What I want separate from this 2 which I'm not sure if I will get to, but it's something I would like to if this is all working and efficient, is to be able to search dates. So let's just do date searching. And essentially what this would be is, let's say someone has gone on a date, they've accepted it, so this will put it into the system, into the database or whatever, and this will be searchable. How I would do these filters, I'm not too sure. I guess it'll be the same thing as likes and dislikes, or maybe searching areas or specific ratings, cuisines, outings with something specific, how many people have gone on it, or whatever it could be, right? So couples would be able to search, they would be able to search and select a date that someone's already gone on. Right now I'm just viewing it as dates that have been accepted, because then in some way it's a good idea of a date. We could obviously also just generate dates, or have, like, I don't know, if it gets popular, companies putting, let's say a restaurant puts a sponsored date in, or I don't know. It could ideally just be dates people have gone on, or some dates to start off with, because otherwise it would be empty before a lot of people start using the app. Date searching, they would select that date, and then ideally it will go to the accepting part of the date. So yeah, I think that'll be the journeys. There's nothing else I can really think of at the moment. I think that sort of covers everything. Signing up, building a profile, linking with a partner, generating a date. So this is just selecting your date, like date on the calendar. Date building. So this date generation is not really something a user would do. It's more of they would initialize, they would trigger it, or choose to do it, and then it would happen. Date building is something the user does, because this is where they would accept or decline generated dates, and then it will keep generating until both our partners agree, or all parties, depending how we build the app. And then after the date, there would be a section for them to rate out of 5, or what I'm assuming out of 5 is like a good thing, and review. I think what I do is sort of something like Uber Eats or Mr. Delivery, where as you go back into the app after an order, or you get a notification after an order, to rate the delivery. That might be easy, just to make sure we actually get some feedback from couples, as they might not always want to go back and review. Like, I'm sure all of us order stuff online. We don't really go and review the product unless it's bad, probably. And then then they'd want to search also if they want to see what else is there, and they can browse through. Might be a different option to try something out of their comfort zone, or not fully aligned to their likes and dislikes. So what I want to do now, I guess that's it for journeys. What I want to do is break down these journeys into features, although now I'm looking at it, and of those high level journeys, it essentially breaks down the features. So yeah, let's take these journeys and break them down into smaller processes. Let's do that next, and break down these journeys into parts or into features. Okay, so let's break down these journeys. I'll start off with, so one thing I want to do is username and password. This ideally would be an email address, I guess, just a basic login. We would look at how to do the password security and all of that at a later date as well. Number 2, I would want to have users be able to log in with Google and other apps that are common, so I'll have to look into that too. So log in with other accounts. Let's go for now, other accounts, and let's just list it for now. Google. I don't know if Apple ID is one that's used commonly. I guess Facebook might work. We could also possibly use that to get information, but let's just say Google, Facebook. Yeah, I guess Google's the most common that I've seen, but that's because I'm on Android, so I'm assuming Apple has an alternative. Okay, so username, password, login with other accounts, I guess password resetting, all that would fall under number 1, not the account. Password resetting, I don't know if I spelled that correctly. That's it, really. There's nothing, I don't think there's anything more to it than that. Yeah, okay, so that's good. Let's go to profile building. Just to reiterate, profile building is essentially taking in the likes, dislikes, cuisines, and all of that. So let's try and break that down. Let's just list all the ideas and see what's good. I don't think really listing likes as an option makes sense. Let's rather do the areas, and then of those you would do likes and dislikes. So let's say cuisine. So say I might like fast food, but I don't like seafood, for example. I don't know if that's a cuisine, but yeah. So cuisines, I think restaurants would be an idea. Let's just say places. This would be for food and activity places. So like our idea would be like, okay, food, I like Nando's. Activity, I like Stockinic or movies or something like that. So cuisines, places. I think areas is a good one too, because let's say you don't like going to Four Ways, you want to put that as a dislike, but you like going to Santon. Cuisines, places, areas. Then we'd want to do, in terms of openness, trying new things. If I think about that logically, I can only really take that into consideration after users gone on dates, or if I let them enter where they've gone before. I don't know if that's gonna bulk the profile building up quite a lot. Having to say, okay, I like this place and I've been there, or I haven't been there. So I don't think open to trying new things should be part of the initial profile building. Maybe when generating a date, you can select that if you've already had dates generated and accepted. So I think number 4 then would be, I don't also think intimacy levels, or how intimate you want a date should be. That would be specific to date generation. So let's just add that up here. Let's just say new things and intimacy level, how intimate something is, right? So choose cuisines that you like, places, food and activities, and the areas. I think that should be good enough, and it's not too many things. What we could do is have a single screen for likes, and then have like bubbles pop up on the screen to have cuisines, places, and areas, and they can just go and select and scroll if they want to keep building. That's something I've seen in Spotify. Okay, linking a couple together. I don't think there's really much we can add to it. We'll just have to look how to do it. Let's say you either get a link from someone who's already signed up, or you get a code, or if we're looking at having accounts connected to each other, we could search for someone's username and select them as a couple. So that is pretty self-explanatory. I would say once we figure out the development behind that kind of builds itself. So next we have date generation. Let's go to another page for date generation. Okay. Let's just do it on the right hand side for sake of filming. Date generation. So this will be actually generating the date idea. So step 1 would be, or I guess feature would be selecting calendar date. I'm just calling it calendar date because we're saying date a lot, like Outlook date. Let's say select calendar date. Then intimacy level 3 would be open to new things. This would be only after accepted dates. Very untidy. Okay, only after accepted dates. So that's because we would have to know what's new or not to them. We don't really have the information of dates, so it could actually not be new, but we're hoping people will use the app a lot, I guess. Okay, so selecting calendar date, intimacy level, open to new things. There might be a need to have approval on the actual calendar date by the other partner, but I feel like that would slow down the generating part, so we could move that to once the date is generated. When they're accepting or declining, they could propose a new date. I think that would be part of date building. We should try to keep it as simple as possible. It'll take into consideration their profile. There's nothing else that they would need to do. I think, yeah, so I think that's kind of should be it. Let's go to date building. So you've generated a date. You have a date that you deal with now. So let's just go what we spoke about. We can propose a new calendar. I'm forgetting how to spell words here. Propose a new calendar date. You can accept the date. This is talking about the actual date that's generated, not the calendar date. Or you can decline. Ideally, part of this declining could be to decline a specific part. So let's say we could think of that decline part, which would be, let's say, call it a meal and an outing, as I guess it's sort of a base for a date. We could maybe have different date types and have longer outings, or that could delve into trips and a lot of other things which we can get to fast. Essentially, what I'm looking at as the deliverable for this year is up to, yeah, so that's personalized date building. I'm just viewing the, like, I've never built something that takes into consideration what people like and then fetches different data to generate something. So if I can deliver that, that's what I'll be most happy with at the start. Okay, so date building, propose a new calendar date from what's been generated. That would be initial to accepting the actual date and time, because maybe the generation would change depending on the date, if somewhere is closed or public holidays or whatever it may be. That we take into consideration. Okay, so then you would accept the date or decline the date. That would be accepting the date, just basically just saves it as something that you're going to go on and then you can review. Declining, you can either decline a part of it or the whole thing, and then that would regenerate as well. So let's just put that down. Decline all date, and then 2.3 be regenerate. That's the right word. Generate the date. So that will come back to not really number 1, but obviously number 2 and 3. That's good for date building, I would say. I can't really think. Pretty simple. The app itself is pretty simple, but I just want to go through this process. I get the sort of ideas going, brainstorm and see, for example, I'm thinking of different things like just simple accepting rather than all parts or changing parts, or you just think of ideas this way, and that's why I actually prefer to do pen and paper. I can just make notes where I want, and it's much easier than having to structure like a digital note or Notion page or whatever it is. But I can and will put this into Notion. I do have a little task tracker. So yeah, I'll show that later. Okay, so then date reviews / rating. Do this next. So rating. So I think this would be, I think we should use hearts because it kind of fits the app. Rate of 5 hearts. And then 2 would be leave a review, and then this would be of either parts of the date or whole date. Now, one thing I want to do with this is a lot of people take pictures now, film, even do TikToks if they're going somewhere nice that they want to film, or create content around it too. So part of the review, I also want to tag or upload the content. So let's say they go to the restaurant and taking a picture of the food, filming. Let's say they go, I don't know, laser tagging, maybe they're filming as well. Upload that, or post an image or a link or whatever it is. Link it to Instagram, TikTok, that sort of thing. So that'll be part of the review. I think it'll be useful. A lot of the time, if you want to go somewhere, you can look at people that have already gone there, what it looks like, and that sort of thing. So leave a review, tag upload content. Yeah, I think that'll be a good part of the process. I think one thing I want to note, which is a potential, so I just put a question mark, is to answer questions. So why I suggest this is if I've already gone on a date and someone is searching, another couple is searching and want to accept this, an idea might be to answer questions. This might not be specific to a date, but more specific to either the meal or the outing. What do we call it? Yeah, outing. I think activity is a better word for that, but yeah. This is sort of what Google has. You can ask questions and get answers on Google Maps, but this might be a good place to do it if you have questions specific and then someone's already gone at that place, so that would have information or might have information. Okay, searching, so we'd want to think of the different filters. So we think, let's just say we can choose an area, we can choose, you can specify an outing or a meal, so then the other section would already have, so let's say I choose a specific meal, it'll be coupled with an outing that's already been generated. This, I guess, could also, I'm just thinking of a feature rather than date generation that you have no control of, that maybe you know of a restaurant you want to go to, but you're not sure what else to do. So that could be something. Let's say you choose a meal and it gives you the rest of the day. That might be useful, but I guess that's a sort of future feature we can look into as well. Okay, so you could search by area, you could search by outing or meal. I wouldn't say searching both because then you kind of know the whole date. Let's do level, intimacy levels, or intimacy level if we're gonna assign those to dates. We'd maybe want to do search by specific rating, so higher than 5 or whatever. Don't think we're gonna look at budgets or costs or dates, but that might be a good idea to search for. You can probably just make a note of that and say budget, so areas, outing, intimacy level, rating, budget. Yeah, I think that now is what I can think of. So that should be, yeah, that should be it. So we've gone through the different journeys. What I can do, or what I'll do, is just type these up and see if I think of anything else, and we can review that maybe once we start building the database, which I want to do. Want to record as well. I'll have a face cam up for that. That'll be a bit better to follow along, other than just a voice and a book. This is pretty cool. This is quite helpful. So what I've done is gone through, just to recap, gone through journeys, so what the user is going to go through, different process, and then broken that down into features, ideally features or steps really, but I mean I think those kind of translate to features. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with this. This is the first part of the Tech Accelerator or Lovana Devlog, and yeah, I'm really excited to keep this going. I think either in this video or in a separate episode, as I see this is getting quite long, we'll do a little bit of work on the Lovana logo and some branding, which I want to get done just to figure out a theme and I guess color palette for the app. So yeah, this has been part 1 and episode 1, or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, I'm really excited to keep going. Thank you for watching.